Relax, kick your feet up, and grab your favorite beverage. In other words, let's get it started. Woo! Yes. For all of my sneaker lovers out there, you will definitely enjoy today's show. Our guest is the owner of SneakerFare Kicks, a shoe customization and urban arts company. Now he's taking his talents to the educational system. Y'all, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Anthony Amos. Hey, show it to him. Chi-Town in the house. Hello there.
Hi.
Hey, please have a seat.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here. You have such an amazing energy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So take us through your journey to becoming an entrepreneur in the arts personal fashion industry world.
Sure. Well, it started out, I was very young. So I've been creating since I was 4 years old. So
Oh my goodness.
This is 30 years of work.
Wow.
So how I got into sneakers was about middle schoolish time. I would remember that we would always get our new shoes for the year.
Yes.
And we get like maybe two. You get like two pairs. So this year came up, the money was tight. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to school without a new pair.
Exactly.
But I got to improvise.
Right.
So I opened up the box of my markers and pens, paints, and I just said, let's go to it.
Really?
First thing that comes to mind. Yeah.
Wow. And this started at what age?
So it's about 12.
And what was the first thing that you made?
Oh, first thing I made, I can hardly remember, but it was a cartoon character, big famous cartoon character around that time. It's probably something Japanese.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. So listen, through all of this, everything that you've done, everything you're doing, you remain an active member of the U.S. military.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Of course. What branch do you serve?
I serve in the Army National Guard.
Yes. Wonderful. That's love. We're going to give you some love. Thank you. So tell us about your program with Chicagoland Youth, Concepts to Kick.
Sure.
Concepts to Kicks.
Kicks.
Yes.
There you go.
Let me get it right.
So Concepts to Kicks originally started during the pandemic. So this is because Chicagoland youth have been going through quite a bit over the last 2 years with the pandemic. And so with them, some schools, especially school I work with, Jesse White Learning Academy in Hazelcrest. So what they were going through was some kids were not able to be in school and some were actually attending school, and I was splitting it up. So between me and my partner, we came up with this program because he's their art teacher and he happened to show them my work. And so that got them very enthusiastic. So this program is set up to give them an incentive because what we give them is a coloring sheet and they get to design whatever it is they choose that works with our theme. And so this here gets them thinking very critically, even though they have like real world problems that are sometimes adult problems.
Yes.
And so this gets them thinking critically about what's going on in their environment, what's going on in the world as a whole. But it also gives them an incentive in the fact that they actually have the chance of getting a full design, customized sneakers, something that they might not even conceptualize or may not even may not even have a pair of so we use a lot of Jordans. They may not even have those at home at all.
That's amazing that you do that for children.
Thank
and
you.
Have you found some incredible artists within the time that you've spent with them?
I have.
Wow, I love it.
These children have impressed me so much.
Well, we are going to pull a graphic up of your amazing work here. Let's take a look. And what is your favorite art to create on shoes?
It has to be the realism. Realism is something that I love so much because it is an actual challenge to see how far I can pull from reality and basically juxtapose reality and art into one amazing piece. Because what I want is for you to be able to see and imagine what was happening,
Right.
or to see if you, I like to see if you would be able to like resonate with how I was feeling when I was creating that piece. And just the iconic imagery of said person or said situation, see if you can.
Well, it looks like you can clearly convey your message and what you want us to see. Although art is something to be, we interpret it, it certainly is very clear. The concept and ideas that you're experiencing, you're sharing them so clearly on here. I want to go back to the children that you work with. I wanted to show your work to show them what you do and what you offer the children. So I also want to know, how did you come up with the concept to give back to the kids and the whole idea of the process of them creating these designs?
Sure. Well,
was that a lot?
In a sense, but you know, it's an easy question to answer.
Good.
Because it's very heartfelt.
Yes,
so
I can tell.
For me, this again started between me and my partner, who is their art teacher. This guy here, his name's Ben.
Oh, wonderful.
And we came up with this again as an incentive for them to deal with what they were experiencing during the pandemic. It was really hard on children as well. But for me personally, this is very close to my heart, because this was not an opportunity afforded to me as a child.
Right.
You know, I grew up in Chicago, and so art was the way to keep me out of the streets.
Right. That's
art was keeping me out of trouble. But my reality in elementary school especially was a lot different. This was where my head was, in art all day, every day. And I was in class with a lot of students who parents may not have had the time that my parents poured into me.
Right.
I could read at a 5th grade level in 3rd grade.
Wow.
That was easy for me. Lots of different things. So thanks to my parents.
Yes.
But teachers were not kind to me because all I wanted to do was create.
Wow.
And that was very unfair. So for me, I pour into the children the reality that this is possible for them, and that there is those outside of school who encourage them to create, to explore the simple things in their minds, whether they want to be an artist or not, because their creativity is going to take them far in any career that they get in.
It is so true. That is so true. So typically, how long does it take for you to create a customized pair of sneakers?
Oh, so it can be between a few hours and a few weeks.
Really?
No more than 3.
No more than 3 weeks?
No more than 3.
Minimum of how many hours?
Minimum of how many hours? Well, I could tell you the longest one was about 100.
100 hours?
Just
oh my
about.
Goodness! What did you create?
So it's a shoe based on African Americans who not necessarily broke the color barrier, but they were right after the color barrier was broken.
Oh,
so
nice.
on the shoes, there are 2 baseball players. There's both Chicago players.
Of course. Y'all know he from Chi-Town, right?
It's only fair.
But I mean, some great players from there. Go ahead.
So
okay.
It's baseball player, legendary player Minnie Minoso, who played for the Sox, and Ernie Banks, who played for the Cubs. And so actually here they are right here.
Oh,
so they're popping up, and there is just the level of detail, because I mean, I just got into my bag and just did it. Put as many hours.
That was 100 hours. That's amazing. Now you have some sneakers on here. Tell us about the design on these sneakers.
Okay, so these are the Jordan 3s. Okay. Now, if you saw the Super Bowl halftime show, you had to have seen the shoes that Eminem wore to the Super Bowl halftime show. And right there, I said, I got to do it. Because those shoes, I knew for a fact that no one would ever have those. I said, well, guess what? I'm going to make a pair and nobody's going to have those.
Well, can you show our shoe cam the pair that you made? Where is the shoe? Okay. There we go. Look at there. Yes.
This is the part that counts.
Right? The back part counts.
The back tab is the most important part, because this was the significant part of his design that he wore on the halftime show.
Oh, very cool. Guys, yes, that's very dope.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Yes. Okay. So explain the feeling you get knowing you give hope to the children of South Chicago. What does that feel like?
Is there a word for that?
It may not be.
Is there a word? But for me, in some ways, I guess the word would be vindication.
Ooh.
In some ways, and more of a maybe that's not the right word, but like maybe a sense of like righteous justice
because of what you didn't have, and now you can give it to them. From that perspective, I understand what you're saying. That's everything.
I feel like a lot of them probably have the same experience I have.
They probably
and maybe at home too, because I was blessed to have the encouragement at home.
Right.
So coming from school, it might have not been so fun, but to come home to say it's okay, don't worry about that because you can do these things.
Exactly.
And that's what led me here.
And now you get to be there for them. Y'all, it's been such a pleasure hanging out here with Mr. Anthony Amos with SneakerFare. Yes, SneakerFare Sneakers. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been such a pleasure for you all to be joining us as well. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with 5 o'clock somewhere.